It takes days, sometimes weeks, for one of South Sudan's most popular musicians, EMMANUEL KEMBE, to write, record, and produce his songs. Yet despite his dedication, he benefits very little from the finished product.
In South Sudan, basically, copyright law is not exist. So we musicians, we spend time, money, energy to produce, but there's no any law that protects our rights. Like in other countries, even the neighboring countries like Sudan, Uganda, so like when musicians produce music, at least they earn something out of their work. But in South Sudan, no.
EMMANUEL is one of more than 50 artists in South Sudan, all facing the same problem. Musicians, writers, and poets are all suffering because there are no laws in place to protect their work. Now, many prefer to have their work produced in other countries where there is copyright legislation.
We're in South Sudan, and South Sudan doesn't actually have a copyright society or copyright system here. I wanted to try to publish in Uganda. I would publish them in Uganda, definitely. Yeah, but I would still maintain that identity of a South Sudanese poet who's publishing in Uganda.
There are no distribution companies in South Sudan. It's not seen as a worthwhile investment. But that doesn't mean artists' works are not being sold. Distributing the work of artists without their permission isn't difficult. You bring a stick or drive to a music seller here in the market and choose the music you want. He'll copy it and you'll pay, and it'll cost less than $1. Then you can reproduce songs using the music and the lyrics, and the artists don't even know that their music is being sold on. Government has taken little interest in the arts and literature sector, especially after a civil war broke out in 2013. Tens of thousands of people have been killed and a third of the country's 12 million population displaced. But the government says it is now working on a bill and forming a council to protect the intellectual property of artists.
Council will be formed soon by the approval of the cabinet, so that it will become umbrella. And then at the same time, we'll confirm that we have a body that we can give him. We can give this body a policy. We can this body a laws, so that we talked about protection.
For EMMANUEL and other artists, this provides some hope that in the future, it is they who will benefit financially from their words and music, not an unknown third party. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Juba.